That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
you want one quick
can't
question?
ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo. My name is Rashad and I'm with the flow. I have to start looking at like my freestyles at the beginning of these streams because I'm starting to feel like they all kind of run into each other. You know, and people be like, he's doing the same freestyle every night. And I'm like, it wasn't intentional, just going off top. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs, man. First things first that I want to say, man, a lot of people in Atlanta is rapping they behind off. Once again, a lot of people in Atlanta is rapping they behind off. C. Alexandra, formerly known as Aqua Marie, she got some stuff on the way that she sent me. It's on the way as we speak. She's editing it. She's putting it together as we speak. She's about to upload it on TikTok. It's a freestyle about the Met Gala. It's hard. It's heat. Anicia done took, man, the best thing that could have happened to Anicia, I'll say it right now, bro. The best thing that could have happened to Anicia on breaking up with her boyfriend. What? Hold on. I'm sorry. That was wrong time. I was pulling up the Anicia song and I see this on the homepage of this of Switcheroo speaking about breaking up with her boyfriend Drewski and Could Have Been Love. Now I don't know what's okay. All right, cool. I was listening to Veda beforehand, but I think I just got it from Chelsea Alexandra. She just sent me the file. She just sent me the video file. Let me tell her I'm on live. I'm on stream. I was just started. Just mentioned this freestyle. Okay, bet. Yo, okay. So like I was saying, the best thing that could have happened to Anicia was this dang song going viral for the wrong reasons. Everybody saying this song trash. Nicki come back. These female rappers can't rap. What is going on? And I was like, dang, like I'm really high on Nene. Like I know she got it in her. Like I've heard her go crazy for a whole year. Like ATM go stupid, bro. Like I know she got it in her. This ain't indicative of her, and this is her most viral song to this point. And at the moment, it was, but you know, it kind of slowed down a little bit. I still feel like Back Outside is still a bigger song and things like that. So, anyway, that's how I was feeling. So Nene come with the whole Twitter thread. I'm going back to it. I got rid of my whole team. I said, whole team? She said, whole team. We going back to the basis. I miss Benny. I miss BRB. I miss So What? I miss them days. I said, oh, she talking like that. Cause see, it was the whole, she was going too crazy with the laid back, I don't care flow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, what's going? Right? So then she dropped this snippet produced by Tony Snowman, Mob County. And she posts that joint and it's going stupid. It's the bar of a hard beat. She got some energy in her voice. I'm like, okay, we talking about something. And then she come out with the second single on the Grady Baby mixtape. And I don't know if it was what was originally planned or whatever was the case, but this joint hard. Woo-wee! It's over a Jeezy type beat. I don't know who produced it. Did Tony produce it? Hold on. Let me see if Tony produced this joint. Because if Tony produced it, Tony on a run. But it sounded like some Jeezy stuff. And them the type of beats that Tony been making lately. You know what I'm saying? Them Jeezy type beats, man. A very dang. Yo, this is high praise right here, bro. Jeez Louise. Tony Snow really the evolution of everything me and my bros did. That dude so far the future for real. That is huge. Can't ban the snowman, Mikey Rocks. To get this type of love from the OGs, man. Shout out to Jace, man. Shout out to 2-9. Real legends in the city. Shout out Mexico Joe. Man, it's crazy. All right, bet. Foolishness and more. I'll scroll down. But anyways, right? So he produces joint. She come back with a joint that sound like Jeezy. And not only do it sound like Jeezy, it's a gangster Grisel's. Grady Baby is a Gangsta Grills mixtape. And she's sounding like Jeezy on that mug. She's talking that talk. She's back. Ain't no more Sleepy Nene. She back talking that talk. This is one of the hardest tracks I ever heard. If you ain't heard it, go listen to No Scrub right now. Get off the live and go listen to No Scrub right now. So then that came out, right, in Atlanta. I said the Chelsea Alexander joint already came out, right? Or it's on the way. She just sent me the video file. She about to upload it. Then Suave come. Suave come with Billy too. Let me tell you something, man. So if you don't know, just that even the idea of this project is stupid, bro. He came in with Billy One last year, which was an R&B project. But look, the cover art was him on the steps just like this. And it was just a bunch of women in all black on the steps. And he just singing on it. It got high praise from some people. He really sing. Some people ain't even know he rapped. That's how good it was to some people. On some Brent Fayez stuff. Here it is right here. Billy One with the black woman around him. So that was the first one, right? He come back with Billy too. And lately I've been hearing some stuff that's gassed up and everything like that, gassed up reviews. And I hear, and I kind of even lower my standards a little bit. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm holding the standard too high. Like, because how you going to have the bars and the turn up and something to keep everybody engaged? If you're keeping your head bobbing, it's a good beat, it's a good flow. That should be enough, Rashad. Everything don't have to be storytelling and Tyler, the creator level type of, like we have a cohesive story and message within the album, and every story you're saying something, every bar means something. Just vibe out, twin. I said, okay, cool. Maybe I'm expecting too much. I come from a different era, the blog era, right? Then I listened to Billy 2, and Billy 2 is got the high BPM. I'm up. I'm listening. It's got the flows, the energy in the voice that I like. The delivery is good. And then the message, he's telling stories. He's saying something in his raps. He's not rapping just to rap. A lot of people right now are rapping just to rap, whether it be for TikTok hits or whatever the case, more money, and to say, I got more money than all y'all. He's rapping about something. He's telling a story. He's talking about the days when he was broke. He's talking about the days when he was a child and he felt like an outcast because he didn't have ABC. He's talking about the days as an early rapper trying to get on a complex list, trying to get mentioned on these social media platforms that talk about the up and coming rappers. He's talking about being slept on in Atlanta. He's talking about no longer caring about being slept on in Atlanta. He's talking about getting signed, not being signed, having Will Smith prioritized at the label over him. He's talking about all of these things, right? And it hits. It connects. He's rapping his behind off every single song. That's how you do it. Atlanta's got something to say. If you ain't paying attention, pay attention to the underground. Tap in right now expeditiously. I like all these songs. I ain't even heard the solo joint. And guess what? That's not even it. I'll tell you, the basketball player rapping. The basketball player rapping her behind off. Hold on. Let me pull this one up. Where is that? Here we go. The basketball player rapping are behind off. The Help Me remix is stupid. And Flage don't even cuss. It's hard. And at the end of the freestyle, she started talking about where she come from. And she said, be for real. Be a real man. Be a real human. If you so real, if you so tough, put the down and pick up the hands. If you don't know the story of Flage's father was in this music joint. He was one of the more popular artists in the South, right? 100% right. And his story tragically ended before Flage even reached the earth, before she even landed on earth, you know? And it was because of that. So her entire career has kind of been anti. You know, Quavo's doing a lot of good things right now with those you know what I'm saying, prevention programs in honor of Takeoff with the Rocket Foundation. And he's been doing it for the past couple of years now, everything like that. We have some interviews like that on the channel and things of that sort. But sometimes you hear his music and it sounds like nothing changed. I remember 2 Chainz, after the loss of Bankroll Fresh, he said he was no longer going to talk about certain things in his music. And it seemed like it took a little while for him to actually get to that point, because he put out another trap album, like his final trap album, his piece trap albums. And then he made like a little jazzy joint. And then he went with Alchemist and Larry June. And I think that's some of his best work in you know, recent years. But his stuff is always good because 2 Chainz could just rap. But Flage's been 100% throughout the entire time of what the message is. And I know my hand was slanted when I said that, so let me try it again. Flage's been 100% same throughout the entire time. She's anti in her raps. There's no switching up. The flow's fire as always. She be saying a lot, but every bar means something. And that's why she also is rapping her behind off. Atlanta has something to say. She might be from Savannah, but where her house at? What metro area did she go to school in? So it is what it is, man. What else? I had to say that, but before we got to anything else, now I'll get into this WNBA creator reaction. This is my first time watching it. Hold on. All right, bet. This is from I'll name this YouTube later. Let me subscribe to bro. Just because I'm watching his thing, I'll like it as well because I'm reacting to him. Y'all make sure to subscribe and show him some love, show him some support. But yeah, this is the first time I've seen anything about this. I saw this on Facebook, in one of them little Facebook groups, them WNBA Facebook groups. They posted this. I was like, oh, let me react to this on stream. I just saw this right before I went on stream. All right.
Been seeing this guy's videos float around for quite some time. I don't want to give him too much light, so I'm not going to mention his name, but he does make some pretty offensive videos, and this is his style of content. He does it not just for the WNBA. He talks about NFL players' wives, coaches' wives, TV show wives, coach player sisters, things like that. And basically what he's doing is saying, would he, I'm trying to find the PC way of saying this, but is this somebody he would like to do the 2-man tangle with? And he goes through, so far he's been going through the WNBA teams and going player by player.
Oh, I'm thinking this dude is the dude, you know, them little AI videos, you know, remember the one that was like Angel Reese is banned from the NBA, and it had like the thumbnail was her in like jail prison attire and like an orange jumpsuit and stuff like that. I'm thinking it was one of them. It's not. It's the dude who be talking about how you say Hulk or pass, with all the NBA players and WNBA players and coaches, and like you said, girlfriends and stuff. I know this dude. Okay. Oh, so he got in trouble for that. Boys trying to make a joke out of women and fired against him.
If this is somebody he would like to dance with, which is pretty disgusting to make content out of it. You know, if that's the way you feel, if you're attracted to somebody, that's fine and dandy. That's human nature. But to make content out of it, make a living out of it, it's just kind of disgusting and nasty. And nobody wants to see that. And his videos have gone viral. Like I follow a lot of WNBA stuff. So I've seen his stuff. So I knew exactly who he was. When
I don't really even see his stuff like that. Like with his stuff, it usually gets sent to me by like people I know. Let me see where this starts. It starts right there. All right, bet.
Somebody sent me a screenshot of him actually getting a cease and desist letter from the WNBA. So I was, like I said, I was familiar as soon as I seen it. I was like, oh, I know who he is, and I know what kind of videos he makes, and I know why they're going after him. So he did actually post a screenshot of the letter from the
man's name is Soy Sauce Sports. A lawsuit will be filed against you if you do not stop using the aforementioned copyrighted content. We have identified unauthorized use of our work on social media, players' likeness, the work without our permission, which is copyrighted under law. As a result, we demand that you immediately remove the content and halt any additional. Sheesh. I love to get on. I love to get two on. He got into May 22nd, but he is cooked.
The WNBA says from legal.WNBA.
Oh, and legal.WNBA.com. Like, he put this out. I was about to say, I don't know if we should just be like posting the WNBA's like legal team. Whew, I might have to, I don't know about that, twin. I'm gonna have to figure out how to paint. Cause you ain't throwing me in this. You leaked our thing, Rashad. Nah, I ain't about to do this. I just got on the WNBA good side. Y'all seen the press conferences. Y'all ain't getting me out of here.
At WNBA.com is who sent him the message. So here's a look at the screenshot of the cease and desist that came from legal.WNBA at WNBA.com. We have determined that you have used players like this team out so he can get those views, and then probably that for bullying for their players. It's really put out here to protect.
All right, that's enough. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, all that, support Mans for bringing this up, because I ain't see this, so I saw it through his reaction video. I don't really react to a lot of other YouTubers and things of that sort, so because I don't know who be on what. You know, some people be tweaking over things like that. So, hold on. What are we going to next? I'll be sure. As you know, it's a friend. Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. Da, 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 da. Where we at? But all right, well, I'll be sure, bro. Cool dude. But he confirmed. First of all, he looks like he's back at like 100%. He looks like his old self again. He looks like he's moving well, sitting up well, and stuff like that. But I'll be sure he allegedly confirmed with Fox 5 New York that he believes Diddy was responsible for getting him in his health condition that he was in a couple years ago. So with that being said, I guess we'll watch this and go from there.
There's no hustle. There's no marketing. I'm living my truth, and it's time.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant. You had the tracheotomy. I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah, right. Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah, so
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so just mysteriously out of the blue, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that
I want to get into
what that process is. But so it's been quite a journey, and as I said, even as it relates to writing the book. I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking? Really? What's wrong with you? No way. But not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting. Yeah. I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy. So let's be clear for everybody that doesn't.
Diddy, who's about to, his trial's about to start. Yeah, yes. They're selecting a jury.
But you were on this train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago. I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate in so and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross.
Yo, did you so shady, bro? It's the little things that you gotta peep, bro, when people say stuff like, he said, I have no interest in speaking in she said, but you are in the book, right? That's hilarious.
And what's most relevant, and something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in,
she eating this up,
is ruined
she
right now.
Drama.
You're blaming Diddy for that?
I'm blaming this entire industry and the way it's gone. And, there's no one person that's in charge, but this level and this magnitude of a story of detriment, of diabolical, just heinous, whatever's really going on. It's unfortunate.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. And again, there's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
So
the only
yes.
reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive.
Man, shout out to Unc, man. Shout out Unc for sure. I'll be sure. And I don't really call people Unc if they not my actual uncle, but like I said, Alf, you know a good dude, you know what I'm saying? He told me call him Unc. There you go. He told me that a couple years ago before all this happened. I checked in on him and stuff like that when he was going through everything. I assumed like his phone was going crazy then, so he never got back to me. But when he was, call me on stuff like that. So really good dude. And like he said, bro, like everybody else is out of here. It's like I'll be sure and Mace, bro. That's it. That's it. And Mace is, making his money through preaching, and now it is what it is, a sports show. And now Al is, Al's still out here doing his thing. He's living off being I'll be sure he's living off of the different other ways of income he's going, and the book, and and documentaries. I know he's in docs too. So, but salute to I'll be sure, bro, for building his health all the way back up, because it was not like this when he first got out, bro. His speech was nothing like this. He sounds like how he used to sound, and he looks like how he used to look. So salute to I'll be sure. That's a miracle that he's even at the kind of health and state of mind that he's in currently and stuff like that. And I wish the best for him. Onk, text me back if you come across this on the internet. Onk, say what's up to you, Neff, man. All right, Pat Riley next. Someone asked Pat Riley about Jimmy Butler and how that whole thing went down again. I guess end of the season press conference, and this is what Pat Riley had to say.
Left off.
This is my first time watching this.
You sat there and challenged Jimmy Butler to play more games, to maybe watch what he says and concentrate on winning. Mm-hmm. After that, in December, you issued a statement saying Jimmy Butler would not be traded. You suspended him 3 times after that, and your very players who sat there just a week ago said that
Ira do not care, bro. First of all, Ira don't care. The reporter up here, like, I met him once at a game, and it's like he don't have like no emotion. And then Pat, he agreed to the first like crazy thing that Ira said that he did with Jimmy. And you know how people say, well, I didn't really say that. They do the whole political thing, especially if you're like an owner, GM, something like that, president of basketball operations. Oh, yeah, I didn't mean that. Jimmy means a lot to the organization. Nah, he's telling it like it is. He said, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I did that. Pat at that age, he don't care no more in life. When you get to a certain age in life, like they just don't be caring, bro. So it's like this is 2 people who do not care: a reporter who don't care, and an owner who's president of basketball operations who's at the age where he no longer cares either. So this should be full, unfiltered, real raw as it's going to get in the press conference.
That greatly impacted their season. 1, your thoughts on how you approached it both a year ago, how you approached it during the season, and how much of an impact do you think that overall had on the direction and the type of season we're coming off of?
I don't think what I said last year really was relevant. I simply said softly no. And I'm a person that in all the teams that I did coach, when you lose, you take your loss and you go home and you're quiet, but there wasn't trolling back in that day. So
Uh-oh.
There's no doubt that what happened with Jimmy had a tremendous impact on our team. There's no doubt about it. So the buck stops with me. I'll take that hit if you want it. What happened during the regular season, I don't want to really discuss. I remember this about Jimmy. I remember the bubble when he was hanging over the scorer's table, exhausted and trying to win a title. I remember that. I have that in my office, that picture. I remember the exit meeting that we had when we got swept by the Bucks the next year. He wasn't a very happy guy. I don't even know if he came in. Maybe it was maybe a minute. I said, go home or go wherever you go. And then one of my favorite moments with Jimmy was the rebound he had with 9 seconds to go in the 3rd year against Boston in the 7th game here. And I was sitting with Chris, and I remember we're going to win this game, and we're going to play Golden State. He rebounded it on the left side of the court. He dribbled up left-handed. He crossed over to the right side of the court. He got right to his spot.
I remember that.
And he raised. on a three. He could have taken Horford, but he probably wouldn't have got a call at that time of the game, especially today, how they're refereeing games. And so I remember I stood up as he was dribbling up. I said, this is going to go in, and we're going to go to the finals again. And he just missed a little bit to the left. And the next year, the play-in and the great run we had to the finals out of the play-in.
Crazy.
I think it was 6 games at Denver. And he played his ass off, his heart out for us. And, the last year and a half, it wasn't the same. He got hurt against Philadelphia. We didn't have him. And when we got 4 out of 5 against Boston, and then there was this year. So, no, I'm not going to apologize for saying no on a contract extension when we didn't have to. And I don't think I should. And I will always say that to the players. If I was coaching, keep your mouth shut. I'll see you next training camp. And you get it back, on the court. But it's different today with players. So anyhow, that's what I want to talk about with Jimmy. I've been through those kinds of situations before, even with this team, a couple times. And so it's over. He's done. I wish him well. Good luck to him. And I hope deep down in his heart somewhere, he wishes us well too.
Then just
Oh, that's crazy. We're talking about deportation now. Georgia college student faces deportation after running a red light. Police discover her entire family is living illegally in the U.S. for years. Dun, dun, dun. Hate to see it. This is written by Nicholas McIntyre of the New York Post. A Georgia college student faces deportation after she ran a red light and authorities discovered her entire family has been illegally living in the U.S. for nearly 15 years. Mexican national Zima Aries Cristobal, 19, was pulled over in Dalton, Georgia. Oh, that's North Georgia. On May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, after she failed to adhere to the no turn on red sign. Zima Aries Cristobal, a Dalton State Community College student, was driving without a driver's license, but told officers she had an international driver's license, according to WTVC, citing the arrest report. She admitted that she didn't have the foreign documentation when Dalton police officers asked her to show it, claiming that her mother had taken it away from her and that she was not supposed to be driving. In 2010, Arias Cristobal was brought to the U.S. illegally by her parents when she was only 4 years old during the family's move from Mexico City to the Dalton area, over 30 miles from Tennessee and the Georgia border. Because of her non-citizen status, Arias Cristobal was paying out-of-state tuition for school despite living in the area. The officer who pulled her over to attempted to speak to the team's mom and the owner of the car, but neither of them spoke English, according to the report. Arias Cristobal was arrested and charged with driving without a valid license and failure to obey to traffic control devices. She was transported to the Whitfield County Jail, a partner of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement 287G program used to identify illegal aliens in the country. This program operates based on a series of reviews and background checks completed only after an inmate is already arrested for an offense under Georgia law. The jail's operation guide said Arias Cristobal was processed through the federal database, which confirmed that she wasn't a U.S. citizen. She was brought to ICE's Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia, where her father, Jose Francisco Arias Talver, is also being held. Dang. Arias Talver was arrested last month when he was pulled over for driving 19 miles over the speed limit. The outlet reported the father, who owns the company, was denied proper paperwork to remain in the U.S. It is not known if he ever applied for citizenship. My dad has his own company, and they called the lawyer to see if they could get a job permit or a visa. And they said that he hadn't hit that status to get one yet. Arias Cristobal's younger sister told WTVC Arias Cristobal was not eligible for the DACA program, having been brought into the country a year after the program ended. According to Hannah Jones, the woman the teen babysat for in the past. Jones created a GoFundMe to raise money for an immigration attorney and bond for the teen. Chattanooga, Tennessee-based immigration attorney Terry Olson called out the family's detention. Excuse me. We do see that ICE is really trying to find any and all methods to say an international has some way of violated the process and their status. What's concerning is that they are being checked at these checkpoints or at those stops. ICE does not have their entire immigration file in front of them. They're not looking at it at all. They're just relying on one item. This is a civil rights issue, Olson told the outlet. Olson said Arias Cristobal's mother is also arrested. Will be arrested and deported within a month, and our daughters will be taken with her to keep the family together. Oh, man. Well, okay. I guess the first thing I really want to say with this is you guys have to be careful. If you don't have your paperwork right now, you see what's going on. They're doing this over, failed to come to a complete stop. They're doing this over going 19 miles over the speed limit. And 19 miles over the speed limit sounds crazy in essence, but it is one time where I got a ticket for that like 11 years ago. I was getting off the freeway, and it's 55, right? It's 55, and I get off the freeway and I'm driving and I'm doing 64 and I'm thinking it's a 55. It turns out between one light and another light, the speed limit decreases. No people walking, no pedestrians, no, kind of residential area. It's just trees back there. And you get off the freeway, you're doing 55. So what you think? If there's no type of traffic, you still think the speed limit's still 55. Apparently, between one light and the other light, speed limit changes to 45. So they got me doing 64, and I got a ticket for that. So 19 in essence sounds crazy, but it could be that easy, especially in a place like Dalton, the country, where you got so much more land and like just a lot of places to drive. So it's like going 19 over the speed limit sounds crazy, but it don't have to be that crazy. I say all this to say families are getting deported over the smallest things, breaking the smallest laws and everything like that, traffic laws, traffic tickets, things of that sort. So if you don't have your documentation in a time like now, especially in a time like, you have to stay on your P's and Q's. And because you see what's happening, they're getting people out of here on whatever the case might be. And I know a lot of times a lot of people against illegal immigrants being in the country are saying, they commit heinous crimes and, they're kind of dangerous to the American society and our citizens and stuff like that, committing heinous crimes and fleeing. And I've experienced that too, with my 7th grade teacher, Miss Elizabeth Bowie. She was, I believe, 28 at the time, right? She was dating an illegal alien, and I believe they broke up or something like that, and then he came back to our house, broke in, and allegedly strangled her. And then after that, he fled to Mexico when he was on America's Most Wanted, and he ended up being on a TV show a few years later. And I don't think they ever found him. So it's like, I definitely understand when people say stuff like that. Trust, I get it. Like I've had it. I've dealt with that pain firsthand. At the same time, it's like a lot of these people was just coming here for the American dream, looking for a better way and stuff like that. And they tried to get the legal documentation. They tried to do it the right way, but the way that immigration works a lot of times, and getting that documentation, getting those papers, them folks drag their feet, bro. They drag their feet. It's expensive. And by this point, these people are already assimilated into American culture. And someone like her, she came here when she was 4. She darn near is American. You know what I'm saying? So it's an unfortunate situation. And these are I feel like, sad stories in the midst of all of this, because I think when you do, when you move this aggressively with stuff like this, it's kind of like a blanket statement of like, all of y'all are bad. You know what I'm saying? And I know some of y'all like, oh, well, our tax paying dollars are da 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 da, and they just freeloading off of it. But like, these still humans, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if they not committing no heinous crimes and their services, like the dad on his own business, a lot of times, a lot of these quote unquote illegal aliens, like they do work, good work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they provide good services. They're of help to the American people and the public and stuff like that. So it's just like pushing out good people, bro, for the sake of like, overall, they all bad. We'll see what happens to the economy. You know what I'm saying? We already see where the economy going right now, but it's like, I feel like if you're doing all this, if you're doing the tariffs, if you're doing the other joints, right, then at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like, the economy better be in a much better shape, you know what I'm saying, down the line. So Trump, he uploaded this earlier, speaking of deportation and illegal aliens and things of that sort. He said, today I signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program. Oh, man. This y'all president. This y'all president. This is my president too, I guess, technically. I am an American. To launch the first ever self-deportation program. Illegal aliens who stay in America face punishments, including sudden deportation and a place and manner solely of our discretion. To all illegal aliens, in all caps, book your free flight right now! Exclamation point. This dude right here, bro.
Today, I signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program for illegal aliens. We are making it as easy as possible for illegal aliens to leave America. Any illegal alien can simply show up at an airport and receive a free flight out of our country.
What y'all gonna do with him, man? He also had the joint where he said, didn't he say you get $1,000 if you leave the country? You get $1,000 US. So you get a free flight and $1,000. He said, don't y'all want that? He looked at all the people that was talking about the stimulus checks. He was like, I'm voting for Trump. We get the check. We get the $1,200 with Trump. We get the $1,200 stimmy. He looked at all them folks and said, oh, I know what those people like. How about $1,000 and a free flight on me? This is what he thinks. The way he thinks. Just watch the patterns, man.
We have also launched a phone app called CBP Home. That's CBP Home, where illegals can book a free flight to any foreign country. As long as it's not here, you can go anywhere you want. We're also...
This man is stupid, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He's a character, dog. He's a character for sure. It's another thing. It's like people will say, like, man, y'all remember when y'all embraced Trump so much and he was this and he was that, he was a cool figure, and y'all mentioned him in the rap songs, y'all put him in the TV shows and stuff like that. And I was always just like, just because, like, right, you have friends, right? Just because someone's your friend doesn't mean you think they should be the president of the United States. It's like, he's a cool friend. Like, we laugh together. He makes funny jokes. He's charismatic, but he's kind of a problematic dude. But he's just a homie. You don't want him to run for the president of the United States. I feel like that's what Donald Trump is.
adding a very important exit bonus for illegals to further incentivize their self-deportation. This deportation bonus will save American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. What Biden did to this country can never be explained, will never, ever be accepted. Eventually, when the illegals are gone, it will save us trillions of dollars. However, If illegal aliens choose to remain in America, they're remaining illegally and they will face severe consequences. Illegal aliens who stay in America face punishments, including significant jail time, enormous financial penalties, confiscation of all property, garnishment of all wages, imprisonment and incarceration, and sudden deportation in a place and manner solely of our discretion. So to all illegal aliens, book your free flight right now. We want you out of America, but if you're really good, we're going to try and help you get back in. Thank you.
Hey man, y'all see what's going on, man. Y'all see what's going on. So with that being said, let's go to the next thing. Yeah, he's something, bro. I'll tell you. All right, mother son are set to graduate from TCU on Mother's Day weekend. You'll love to see it. This is written by, who is this written by? Diane Anglin of Fox 4 News, and I assume Texas. Fort Worth, Texas, to be exact. A mother and a son will cross the stage at TCU's graduation ceremony this Mother's Day weekend. The two say they shared late night study sessions and strengthened their mother-son bond while chasing their graduation dream. The graduates, TCU NBA candidates Brandy Fields is ready for the moment, and her son Kyle Fitz is earning his master's in liberal arts. You better do it, graduate school. Meet Brandy. The family's unique story began in Southern California, where Brandy and her husband, a retired Los Angeles Police Department officer, raised Kyle and his younger brother until Kyle went off to college. Brandy says she decided to move her family to Fort Worth for accessibility to the campus, among other family reasons. Meet Kyle. Kyle fell in love with the TCU campus after his first visit, he told Fox 4. And while he did tour others, he says none quite reached the mark made by the Fort Worth school. He also admits by being a bit of a homebody and he wanted to stay near his family. Once the family settled into their home after the move from California, Kyle earned his undergraduate degree in just 3 years. Now, in addition to earning his master's, Kyle works as a graduate assistant and athletics equipment manager for the school. Here he is on the field. Hey, Mom. Plans for post-graduation. What they're saying, Kyle hopes to use his new degree to continue the work he's done at the campus he loves. Quote unquote, I want to take whatever here and use it. I like to do something sports adjacent, Kyle said. Sports has always been a big part of my life since I can remember. Brandy says that she's, wait, hold on. Who is this? Okay. Hey, hey, that dude me out. That dude. Okay, hey, salute. Hey. Brandy says she's grateful for the opportunity she had to work alongside her son to further their education, including study nights and mother-son tailgating. All the stars aligned perfectly for us. I did. Okay. That threw me off. Wow, what a pleasant surprise. All the stars aligned perfectly. Did you guys hear about the Pope? Like his New Orleans ties? He's Creole. All the stars aligned perfectly for us and our family, said Brandy. Graduate degree, mother and son. Mother's Day graduate programs graduating together. As for the origins of their new lives, Brandy recalls personal reasons for the move. We decided to move to Fort Worth for a bunch of reasons, Brandy said. It was time for my husband to retire and be near his family. I lost my mother due to COVID. Rest in peace to your mother. I'm so sorry for your loss. As a small celebration of their shared day of important walk, Brandy and Kyle are planning to make trek in their matching pair of shoes. Brandy said she's confident that she can, quote unquote, rock the look. Salute, man. Salute. Feel good story, man. W graduates, W education, man, for sure. W Mother's Day gift, for sure. I'm not going back to school, Mom. I'm sorry if you're watching this. Not right now. Maybe like, who knows when I'm 45, but not right now. Next thing, Pablo Torre versus UNC. So apparently Pablo Torre, he said something about the whole reports. Excuse me, give me a second. Pablo Torre said something about the reports of, who was it? It was he said something about the reports of Bill Belichick's girlfriend was banned from the campus, and he said something like, I think he said she forced her way onto the set of the Dunkin' Donuts commercial and she made them like rewrite it or something, and she was wearing the bikini. I don't know what it was, but it was something like that. And then UNC later came out and said, nah, she can still come out. You know what I'm saying? She's not an official member or employee of our staff, but she can still come around. That's what they said after the whole thing came out. So I guess this tweet is someone saying, hey, Pablo, way to like make something up. Great journalist, right? And he responded, we broke the news of an important meeting where the UNC higher-ups told the football program that Jordan Hudson can't be around the facility anymore. Many people around the team heard the message very clearly. You can decide who to trust in terms of how PR spins goes from here. You better say that, Pablo. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I'll look at that. I don't know what Dan Le Batard and them do. So we'll see. P.S. UNC can now choose to describe or change this position on Jordan Hudson's involvement however it wishes. Following the publication of our episode, we requested comment and filed dozens of FOIA requests that were not satisfied. And we stand by this specific reporting of our episode, which came at the highest levels of the football program. Shout out to Pablo. I'm trusting Pablo, bro. Pablo Torre is one of them ones, bro. He one of them ones for real. Shout out to Pablo Torre. P.S. If you're into the criminology of UNC, the wording of their statement is extremely interesting. Don't ignore the other phrases and sentences they use to make sure to clearly include for the first time, as Pro Football points out here. She is quote unquote welcome at the football facilities. There it is. So let me watch this. Like I said, I don't know what Dan Le Batard Network be doing with the copyright.
A couple of breaking news updates since what has happened publicly since we last gathered. Number one, okay? Two sources at the University of North Carolina tell me that there has been a decision, was made last week, by the higher-ups inside the athletic department that had hired Bill Belichick to be the highest paid public employee, not just coach, in the state of North Carolina at $10 million a year. And that decision was that Jordan Hudson is no longer allowed in the football building.
Okay.
She is not allowed on the football field.
Shout out Katie Nolan, man. One of the OGs, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, Katie Nolan, I'm sorry. So side note, siren alert. About 2015, bro, 2016, I was making YouTube videos. It was like 2016. But it was like inspired by her. She was making YouTube videos and they were like actually kind of like a brick wall background. She was up north in the Northeast and stuff like that. She would have like the little topics come up in the upper corner, like a late night TV show, right? Or like watching SNL, like the Weekend Update and stuff like that, kind of like the news or whatever. But it was from the comfort of her own home. And she was funny. Like she was telling jokes and stuff like that from her room. And then it got her to show with Fox Sports, I believe it was, FS1, where she had the late night with Katie Nolan. And it was funny. She had the studio audience and stuff. And they put money behind it. And that got her the attention of ESPN. You know, anytime you like make some noise in sports media and you rival ESPN, ESPN's like, yo, let me buy you out. So ESPN bought her out then, but it didn't really work out for her at ESPN. Now she's kind of doing her own thing again. But I just wanted to give those props to Katie Nolan. I've never met her, never crossed paths with her. So maybe this message gets to her like that. Like she's one of my biggest inspirations, especially in like the mid 2010s of just like people doing it by themselves and doing it, delivering the news in a unique way. So like a part of this, of what you guys are watching, comes from Katie Nolan, bro. So salute. With that being said, let's get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, don't think you'll be hearing much from Jordan moving forward.
Wow.
Dang, not in the
flippant.
building?
That's a little flippant. I feel like that is what is done with a distraction, and a team is within its rights to do that when it comes to external distractions.
Now, do we think, maybe we know, I don't know if we know, do we think this is like the athletic director at UNC being like, this is a problem? Or do you think it's Bill going to the athletic director and being like, I would really love it if you said this was a problem?
Oh, of like, oh, they said you can't come.
Yeah, I want.
Please, I would
babe,
love to have you there.
Oh my
God,
God,
you're my
kidding me?
cheerleader.
Who's got tarier heels than you?
You're my cheerleader.
You gotta be there, babe. But freaking
but they
Donnie's
are saying,
on my back. with
Bubba
this.
Cunningham.
New
Is that his
job.
name? Bubba
Yeah.
Cunningham.
Bubba's, you know the way
Bubba, you know how
Bubba's.
Bubba can be.
Listen, Bubba's, he's tough.
I
He
think Bubba's
rides
jealous. I wouldn't say it to him, but I think Bubba's jealous.
Yeah.
That's my Bill Belichick impression.
That's really good.
That's ours.
Yeah, the most animated he's ever been.
So the theory of why any of this happening is a relevant conversation that I'm gonna ask you to put a pin in that.
Okay.
Because the second update is that Bill Belichick's family is extraordinarily concerned about what has transpired. One Belichick family source told me, quote, "There is deep worry for how detrimental Jordan can be for not just North Carolina, but Bill's legacy, reputation, everything he has built and worked for over decades."
Oh, wow.
End quote. In fact, the family has been digging into Jordan Hudson as well.
Oh, wow. This is multiple sources talking here, bro. And Pablo Torre ain't just making up stuff. I'll tell you that. I known him for I don't know him, but I've seen his work for too long on ESPN on Round the Horn. Like grew up seeing Pablo Torre's bylines and stuff like that. He ain't never been known as a fugazi guy. What else do I want to say? I wanted to say something else. I forgot though. But nah, I trust Buddy, bro. I trust Buddy. How you did I spell her name wrong or something like that? Oh, it's Jordan with the O. I wanted to see UNC's official statement. I wanted to read it out loud. That man Pablo said, I talked to 11 people. I spoke to 11 people. He ain't making that up. He is not lying. 11 people, bro. Let me see. Oh, then he went on. One person said she's the worst person I've ever dealt with on earth, and I've dealt with the actual psychopaths, sociopaths. Hold on. I gotta reshare the screen to get the audio.
That it will continue to melt.
In the final 30 seconds, what do you think is next in this story?
I think you're going to see people push back on the reporting out of North Carolina that I've said, which is that there was a power struggle in which the adults had to intervene. I think there will be disagreement about that. And I think that what is happening to my phone will continue to happen, which is that it will continue to melt. I signed up for this. I get it. Aggregation interviews like this are all great. I hope people listen to the episode, but I can tell you that everybody who's dealt with Jordan Hudson, and one person said, quote, she is the worst person I've ever dealt with on earth, and I have dealt with actual sociopaths. I'm not saying that is everybody. I'm just saying this story, Dan, is extreme, and there's a lot, including injectable erectile dysfunction drugs, as just a brief tease for what.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch that episode. I'm sold, Pablo.
Great to talk to you.
I'm sold, Pablo.
Thank you, Pablo.
As I always dreamed, Dan. As I always dreamed.
Of course. In the final.
Shout out to Dan Patrick, man. Dan Patrick, one of the ones as well, bro. It's a lot of folks that's like one of them ones, bro, for sure. Where to join it? Oh, this is crazy. Museum. What is this? Is this a? Oh, okay. Yeah. See that's the stuff that I do not need to know about. Okay. Is that it? I can't find the official statement. She hijacked a Bill Belichick commercial in a bikini to launch their relationship. Okay. It's crazy because he's in here with Cam. That's something. Bryson DeChambeau. Who is this? Tyrese Maxey. It's crazy how like current athletes can be in commercials for sports betting, bro. Rest in peace to Pete Rose, dog, for sure. Rest in peace to Pete Rose. Is she in this commercial? Hold on, I'm trying to see at the end. Is she in this commercial at the end? I know them sports gambling bags be looking good She's not in this commercial. So I just looked at this for a minute and a half, for a minute and 5 minutes with no one. There's no woman here. Big ball. All right. Anyways, yeah, I know those sports gambling bags be something. I don't think I'll ever take one. Okay, I do not. Okay, I guess we're just not gonna see it, huh? She's acting as his publicist. That's exactly what I said. I guess we'll just. She's inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. Shout out to the Onion. She leaves Bill Belichick for 99-year-old Bills coaching legend Marv Levy. That's funny. All right, we'll get out of here. What's next? Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is next, man. He testified. Apparently, shout out to Ryan Phillips. Ryan Phillips follows me again. Okay, so Ryan Phillips, man, he was someone who like followed me, then unfollowed me, and now I guess he's following me again. So I guess I'll follow him back on air. But yeah, it's been an on and off thing since I used to work in Mississippi. He was in Starkville, and I was in Jackson, and then I moved back to Atlanta, and I was doing a lot of just black media stuff. And then I got unfollowed. Now I'm being followed again. Now that I guess I'm back in. Anyways, he said he was at the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse for day 3 of the Michael Lynn Davis capital trial. We're expecting to hear the testimony from former Crimson Tide standout Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller just finished testifying. We saw the dash cam video from his car. During the the windshield of his car was hit twice by Davis, who was seen in front of Miller's car firing at the Jeep. Miller said he was already on his way to go pick up Darius Miles when Miles texted him about the blink in his back seat. Miller testified that he was unaware of the blink until Miles asked him for it. Miller also testified that he interpreted the text from Miles to mean that somebody had threatened him. That is when Miles mentioned that someone who had been quote unquote faking, which was just a woman who like turned him down, right? It was something like that, right? Rest in peace to the young lady. When Davis was shown firing on the video, he's wearing a heavy jacket and his face is covered with the shiesty mask. It is clear from the conversation recorded in Miller's car after Miles tells Davis where the blink is that Miller and the UA basketball manager Cooper Lee in the passenger seat can tell something is wrong. Here's the story from patch.com, neighborhood journalism at its finest, from Ryan Phillips. Let me see. Hold on. The most high-profile witness yet took the stand on the third day of the testimony in the Capitol. Blink. Jurors heard a lengthy testimony Thursday from former Alabama basketball standout and current Charlotte Hornet Brandon Miller on the third day of the Capitol trial of Michael Lynn Davis. As Patch previously reported, Davis is charged along with the former Alabama basketball player Darius Miles in the January 15, 2023 unaliving of 23-year-old Jamia Harris on Gray Street. She was a baby, bro. Young mother. On Gray Street near the Strip. The two Capitol unaliving cases are being tried separately, and the trial date for Miles had not been set as of the publication of the story. Miller, 22, is the most high-profile witness to take the stand yet in the case, who appeared in court wearing a dark suit and a white undershirt. Miller recalled the day before the blink as one of worth celebrating as he scored 31 points in Alabama's blowout win over LSU in Coleman Coliseum. He will go on to be the number 2 overall player selected in the 2023 NBA draft and was the top college player to be drafted. While Miller testified that he was not old enough to drink at the time, he said the original plan following the game was to go to the Strip and have a good time at Club 1225. He said the night began when he drove by himself to the Vi at the University Downs off of 15th Street to meet up with Miles Davis and fellow Crimson Tide teammate Jaden Bradley. As the Patch previously reported, Miller opted to leave the group to go to Moe's original BBQ downtown Tuscaloosa with the Alabama basketball walk-on Kai Spears. upon seeing the long line wait outside of the 1225 on that rigid January evening. So he said, "All right, y'all, I'm leaving. I'm about to go get some food, bro. It's too cold." Miller testified that Miles rode with him to the strip with the Dodge Charger, while Davis rode with Bradley in his 2C Dodge Charger. He said he let Miles know he was just down the street if he needed a ride before he departed for Moles. Chief Assistant District Attorney Paula Whitley then asked Miller to go over the text message exchange with Miles in time before the blink. Much of this have already been presented in court, but absent from the context provided by Miller on the stand Thursday. At 1:02 a.m., Miles texts Miller asking if he could pick him up and take him to the lofts, the apartments where Miles lived. Miller asked him if he needed to be picked up, to which Miles responded at 1:04 a.m. "Whenever you leave that joint." Miller responded at 1:06 that it was probably going to be a minute. After a brief pause in the conversation, Miles texts Miller again at 1:19 asking how long he was going to be at Moles. Miller told Miles to ride with Bradley and said he was going to give Thai basketball player Jaden Quinterly. Was there a Jaden Quinterly or Javon Quinterly, right? Or was his brother on the team too? Oh, there is a Jaden Quinterly. I guess it was his brother. Oh, salute. So he said he was going to give Alabama basketball player Jaden Quinterly a ride back to his apartment. Miller went on to say that he would be at Quinterly's apartment at the Vi after dropping off Spears. Miller testified that he eventually texted Miles at 1:38 and that he was on his way to pick him up from the strip. With Miller en route, though, at almost the same time Miller texted him, Miles tells him, I need my joint. Blink, blink. Just got the faking. Real life. Okay, I need my joint. N-word. Real life just got the faking. What does that mean, bro? You need a joint. You don't need nothing, my boy. Miles was allegedly describing a brief verbal altercation on the strip between Davis and Cedric Johnson, the boyfriend of Jamia Harris, who Davis twice during an exchange of gunfire. They killed the unalive Harris, and as she sat in the front passenger seat of her black Jeep Wrangler. Johnson testified Tuesday that Davis was the initial aggressor. Whoa, dang. So he said, oh, so that was the dude faking. So he said, I need my piece because bruh was pushing up on me first. So I guess he was trying to talk to Jamia, and Buddy was like, no, we ain't doing that, blood. I don't know what was going on. I'm just coming up with some stuff. But I got to be careful with that, boy. That's legal. And then, so then he came back. He said, I need, we in crossfire. So he get it. I guess, so what Brandon Miller do, though? Oh, man. Johnson testified Tuesday that Davis was the initial aggressor and blinked first after he ran up to the driver's side of the Jeep. At the time of the crucial text message, Miles, Davis, and Bradley could be seen on surveillance camera cutting through the back parking lot of the Houndstooth Sports Bar on their way to where Bradley had parked his car at a nearby apartment complex. Miller responded again at 1:40 that he was on the way and later testified that he didn't know the blink owned by Miles was in his car until his teammate texted him about having it. While waiting for Miller to arrive and gave Miles a ride, Bradley's car can be seen pulling out onto Gray Street and parking. As Patch reported on Wednesday, Bradley testified Davis was angry after a verbal exchange with Johnson and refused to get into his car, so Miles did while they waited. Bradley, who had to physically pull Davis away from the argument with Johnson a few minutes earlier, also testified that Davis was quote-unquote worried about the Jeep and wanted to go back up to Gray Street to look for it. Dash camera shows Miller's car was also shown to the jury on Thursday morning. This is a crucial piece of evidence for several reasons, one of the biggest being that it picked up the conversation while Miles told Davis that the blink was in the car and responded in affirmative when Davis asked if there was a bullet in the chamber. Miller did not speak with either man prior to or following the exchange. The dash cam footage first shows Miller traveling up the University Boulevard before taking it back way to Gray Street where Bradley's car was parked. While Miller drives slowly up the Gray Street, the camera clearly captures him passing the Jeep with its headlights turned off, following the red Impala. This was moments before the Jeep executed a U-turn, made its way back up down Gray Street, and pulled in behind Miller. Patch previously reported that the red Impala had been reported stolen and was driven by Shabonte Green. One of the occupants of the Impala, Jack Thompson, is also suspected by defense attorneys of being the third Blink Blink who fired at Blink during the Blink Blink. On the dash cam footage, however, Miles and Davis have both gone their separate directions at this point, and it's clear from the conversation between Miller and Alabama basketball manager Cooper Lee sitting in the passenger seat that something went wrong. What the heck is going on? Lee said. Then sounds. Bah, 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 bah. After the first bah, 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 bah. Davis wearing a face covering with heavy coat with the hood pulled up can be seen in front of Miller's car. Blah, blah, blah. Miller testified that his car was hit twice through the front windshield and also sustained damage where he was sideswiped by the Jeep as two vehicles tried to exit Gray Street. What the F just happened, bro? Lee can be heard telling Miller at one point immediately after the Blink Blink. Miller, clearly panicked and upset about the damage to his car, told Lee, "Don't tell anybody that you saw that ish." Miller then testified that it was indeed Davis who was shown in the footage in front of the vehicle, Blink Blink, and the handgun in the direction of his car. When the prosecution wrapped up his questions on Thursday morning, Miller said that he met with the lead investigator, Brandon Culpepper, twice, was never charged, stressing that he had been cooperative with every phase of the investigation. While it is prohibited in court from being discussed in front of the jury, Miller and the two men charged with Blink Blink were defendants on a recently settled wrongful lawsuit with the family of Jemiah Harris. Cedric Johnson was also the defendant on the lawsuit at one point, but was dropped before the settlement agreement that was reached that saw the family paid an undisclosed amount exceeding $75,000. Under cross-examination by defense attorney John Robbins, Miller was asked if he interpreted the text message from Miles to mean that his friend felt threatened, to which he agreed. Miller again mentioned that he was already on his way when he received the message, but knew that the message meant before he arrived on Gray Street. He then explained the term faking used in the text message is slang for someone making a threat. What's more, Miller agreed with Robbins that a vehicle turning its lights off is indicative of a drive-by, a notion mentioned during the jury selection by a juror who was not selected for the panel in the Capitol Blink Blink trial. On the third day of the Capitol Blink Blink trial, will continue on Thursday afternoon in Tuscaloosa County Court with more witness testimony. That is a lot, bro. That is a lot. So that actually happened on Thursday, or I guess Wednesday, and came out on Thursday. Sheesh. Yeah, this is over. Should have never started. Buddy literally pulled behind Brandon Miller with the lights turned off, shaking my head. Will he finally get released? From the looks of it, it looks like they're about to charge the boyfriend. Yeah. Clay Travis, shame on you for trying to crucify Brandon Miller. Unbelievable. It was a big thing with while Miller drives up slowly up Gray Street, the camera clearly captures him passing the Jeep with its headlights turned off, followed by the red Impala. This was moments before the Jeep U-turned and made its way back down Gray Street behind. Yeah, we're going to need some apologies. He had zero reason to testify, though, if he only did it to clear his name as a man, he wrong. He probably subpoenaed, which most likely. So what you're saying, wrong place, wrong time, almost like Nate Oates was right. So yeah, that's what happened. Just found himself in a bunch of trouble. But it sounded like they said the boyfriend was the aggressor, according to Brandon's story. And so what does that mean now? Shoot. Also it was like Malika was in a lot of trouble for this, bro. When she mentioned this after he was drafted on this draft night. And I get it. She was just doing her job on some journalistic stuff. And I think people went overboard with the critiques of Malika just because she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? In sports and women in general in society, people just go crazy on because they hate women. However, you know, this is something I think it should definitely be followed up on NBA Today if it hasn't already. I haven't watched NBA Today in a couple years. So let me see if I can find anything on YouTube about it right now. Brandon Miller, NBA Today. Let me see. I'm sharing the screen. Davis charged. LaMelo, Brandon. Yeah, I don't think they said anything about it, bro. So I definitely look forward to seeing an update. I think that's just fair journalism because, you know, she took a lot for saying that during his draft night. So we'll see if she follows up with saying something during the playoffs. I mean, they're on the air like every day now, or at least every other day because of the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with that. But there's that. Shout out to Malika though, protect Black women. That's where I stand on the issue, and I think she was just doing her job. As always, my name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Roll 5K Subs. If you're new to the channel, I hope you all take care. Have a great morning. Have a great afternoon. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Whenever you're watching this, and if nobody told you today, I care for you. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad.
Hey, Rashad.